3 rounds of discussion with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from a Zoom call in Columbia, South Carolina, Matthew, aka the Unbreakable Spirit. And his opponent from a Zoom call in Atlanta, Georgia, Daniel, aka the Executioner. Take it away, Matthew.
Thank you, Jesse, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone. This is episode number 133, I think,
Yes.
of Alex with the Unbreakable Spirit.
I'm the executioner, Dale Travis.
You know what? I'm just going to start letting you do that because it kind of flows better and I'm used to it. Anyways, when you hear the boxing bell with your final thoughts for our topics, well, let's go into the topic.
Topic 1.
Saudi Arabia possibly hosting a Royal Rumble after 2025.
Topic 2.
Topic 2 is Zilla Fatu interested in the bloodline over signing with AEW.
Topic number 3.
We're gonna compare Paul Levesque and Vince McMahon's booking style. But first, topic number 1, comrade.
Well, what's the time? Well, with the Royal Rumble possibly being in Saudi Arabia, I will admit, I'm honestly kind of not surprised. With the relationship that WWE has with Saudi Arabia, at this point, I'm not surprised.
I am hesitantly worried about it.
Why is
Because the
that?
last any type of Royal Rumble was in Saudi Arabia, if memory serves me correctly, was the greatest Royal Rumble.
When Titus O'Neil, when Titus World slide.
Yeah, the fact that Braun Strowman won is not the most memorable thing about the event. It's
No,
slipping and falling under the ring.
it was so hilarious that Corey Graves couldn't contain his laughter.
I don't think Michael Cole could either.
Yeah, but I mean, I will say, I know that with it being in Saudi Arabia, it would be in the afternoon.
Yeah,
I just
like the more on the west or something.
My more question is it still going to be like late January? Or is it going to be earlier in January?
The article did not specify, it just said a Royal Rumble. So far we know it could be Rumble.
Yeah. I mean, my possible thoughts is like, look, I'm glad that the WWE, it's interesting and like WWE's, going overseas more because, you get more your wrestlers that aren't really well known in said countries can get over in said countries. Although it's going to be very the women's Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, they're gonna have to wear not so revealing clothing.
Yeah. And then they're going to Saudi Arabia literally the end of this month.
Yep. I forgot about that. So I was wrong. I said our next battle would be the Battleground Las Vegas. It would be King of the Ring.
Yes. My thoughts are, look,
Or
to
something.
me, yeah. Anyway, but uh, a topic here. My thoughts are interesting that they are going to Saudi Arabia. I mean, like, although it's not really that surprising that they're going with more international crowds, considering how hot the international crowds are versus America.
Yeah. Because this might be a hot take, but America is kind of like desensitized to WWE thanks to like COVID and that stuff. And the international crowds are. When was the last time you remember a crowd before Paris singing along to Randy Orton's theme song?
That's a fair point, yeah. But I mean, I will say, to add on to my thoughts, is it is, I mean, I am kind of hesitant with you, I'm kind of hesitant, to, that, hey, that they're going there, but it's just, I'm also just like, you know what? We can't control what WWE does, so I'm just going to go with it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we can't do fucking shit about it, so we just gotta be like, oh, okay. How long we got left on timer?
We got a minute 20.
Okay. You got any thoughts? Floor is yours.
Um, if, like, there have been articles circulating before this week about, like, Saudi Arabia hosting another premium live event. Apparently, it might be for a Rumble. But if WWE wants to, and I won't be surprised if they don't do this, I would like to see a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia.
Really?
Like maybe when their deal with Saudi Arabia is up for their last event, they could have WrestleMania that year be in Saudi Arabia.
That is a good point. That valid thing that could possibly happen. I will say is if WWE does decide to do a Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, my question is, who exactly would said Royal Rumble?
Dude, we are not even halfway through the year, and you're already asking who's gonna win the
Alright,
Royal
anyway,
Rumble.
final. If WWE does decide to go overseas to Saudi Arabia, cool, great, whatever. And I'm just wondering, I just hope it's a good show. That's all I could say. Matthew?
Yeah, Saudi Arabia shows have been kind of hit or miss over the years, and all we can hope for as the cynical, critical wrestling fans we are is that it's good. Because even if it is good, we're gonna find something to complain about.
Unfortunately, you're right.
We'll be right back with topic 2. And we are back with topic number 2. Zilla Fatu is interested in joining the bloodline over signing with AEW.
And by the way, for
Honestly,
those of you people that don't know, he's the son of Umaga.
yeah, and honestly, I don't blame him.
Yeah, but if if this is an actual possibility. If WWE can scoop up Zilla Fatu and push it in this new iteration with the Gorillas of Destiny and possibly Jacob Fatu, good God.
Yeah. I completely.
Because I saw a clip of Jacob and Zilla Fatu on Line once doing where Zilla got where Jacob tossed an opponent in the air and Zilla hit like a Samoan super spike.
Oh, a pop-up Samoan spike?
No, I mean like no, not a pop up, as in like the motherfucker was literally just punch, but a Samoan spike.
Okay.
My honest
But whatever.
but my honest thoughts is you know what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is my topic to host, not yours.
What what are your thoughts?
Fatu is if WWE somehow manages to pick him up, and with how their fiscal years have been doing, they probably could offer enough money.
Mm-hmm.
Their bloodline would be unstoppable.
Mm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How about you call Tony Khan and say, hey Tony, we need to borrow John Moxley for a little bit.
I mean like you talk about like if my thoughts is if this is an actual possibility and Zilla Fatu does join the bloodline either this year or the next coming like at some point, nobody like the bloodline this bloodline could be so dominant they could dominate the main roster plus NXT.
Yeah, and like I said, with rumors of Jacob Fatu going developmental before the main roster, Zilla goes past Axiom and Nathan Frazier, Slow-Mo Superheroes, whatever you want to call yourself. You are in trouble.
Yeah, I also want to say, Trick Williams, if the Samoan Werewolf is coming developmental, you can kiss your title reign goodbye.
That reminds me, I think Jacob Fatu's motion is on WWE 2K24.
Oh shit.
There's a motion on there called Samoan Werewolf.
How interesting. But look, if WWE if WWE has like two factions at the same if the NXT bloodline is Jacob Fatu and Zilla Fatu, and and you can have Solo Sikoa's bloodline go from SmackDown to NXT, do a little bit of both. Oh boy.
Yeah. With Solo sort of taking over the bloodline and saying, like, until Roman returns, I'm in charge and you report to me, to Paul Heyman. Which, for the record, I don't believe Solo talks to Roman. He's just taking charge. Honestly, who's gonna stop him? He has the Gorillas of Destiny back up.
Yeah, that is true. But like you said, is that if WWE, like whether they send Jacob Fatu to if they send him to developmental cool. But considering who his dad, considering his dad was one of the most dominant superstars that surprisingly never won a world title, that's not,
Wait,
this is,
Brazilla.
Umaga. That one didn't win a world.
Well, I was talking about the one going to developmental. You said Jacob, did you mean Zilla?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, if they said Zilla with him, great. But I don't know, considering Zilla Fatu's lineage in WWE, they could just be like, they could have them do double duty, you know?
Yeah, like multi-brand contracts and all that.
But if WWE does do this, and they have this new bloodline with Jacob, the Guerrillas of Destiny, Solo, Zilla Fatu, do double brands, the bloodline's gonna have all the gold in NXT.
Yeah, so the Belgian off, which means it's time for final thoughts. I'll start off. If WWE picks up Zilla Fatu and adds him to this bloodline new generation or whatever you want to call it, for everyone in WWE needs to have eyes in the back of their head.
As for my final thoughts, if WWE, which with how WWE books talent and how WWE uses the bloodline and how dominant the bloodline has been, if the bloodline is going to get a new version of dominance, you add in the son of the Samoan bulldozer, a second generation superstar Umaga to this shit. Nobody in NXT, Raw, or SmackDown is going to be safe.
I will say this. I feel like it'd be a bit redundant, actually. I'd better if Zilla opposes the bloodline instead of joining. We
That would be.
coming to Umaga in Solo.
You never know.
Yeah, we never know, but we'll be back with the final topic. He and I are probably going to debate this more off the podcast than on it.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the third and final topic. Paul Levesque booking versus Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I'm going to say Triple H's is better.
Okay, for a while, like during that, okay, let's talk about the good stuff for Vince. When Vince was able to book, the Reich, Vince was able to book the entire history of the Brothers of Destruction.
Yeah.
And the rise of Triple H in the Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah.
And the rise of John Cena and Edge. A lot of people.
Yeah. He basically created what many people consider to be the greatest era of professional wrestling, the Attitude Era.
But then there's also some shit that Vince did that's also like, what?
Then there's that Roman Reigns Succotash son promo.
Yeah, then there's
Well, that's more Roman's writer, but still.
Yeah, then there's some, then there's like the whole not pushing Daniel Bryan, but pushing him everywhere. Then there's there's some shit that Vince couldn't control that happened, but that, things it's this time that he couldn't really control.
Yeah, like Katie Vick.
That I was more referring to the entire Chris Benoit shit.
Yeah, that was out of his control. And
But
completely the control of Chris Benoit's firearm.
but also, all the like all the like, but when it comes to Triple H's, like, when Vince did some booking, there was some shit that. But before you speak, this is all I want to say is that when it comes to Triple H's booking, since Triple H has taken full liberty of WWE, is that every single thing, because according to Corey Graves, is that the commentators are not micromanaged.
Yeah. That's the
Like,
reason Cole's been so good in recent years.
yeah, Michael Cole's he's doing great shit. And then plus you got Pat McAfee out there, so.
But Pat McAfee is Pat McAfee. He's just acting like a fan, to be honest.
Yeah, but like I said, anytime Vince McMahon, anytime Triple H does anything, the smallest thing under, every when Vince McMahon does shit, it doesn't really make some sense. But everything Triple H does, it always makes sense a little bit. What are your thoughts?
The reason I think Triple H's booking is better is Triple H is looking at it from the viewpoint of someone who was participating in the ring as a competitor, but now is looking from the outside and seeing what would logically make sense.
That is a fair point. Because Triple H.
He brought this company from his dad, Vincent J. So
Yeah.
he was looking at it from what dumb crap can I do to make the most money? Paul is looking from what can I do to entertain the fans the most?
And then keep in mind, before 2.0, Triple H did run the black and gold shit.
Yeah, during the best era of NXT.
And now Shawn runs NXT, he runs Raw and SmackDown, which is hilarious.
Yeah, the running go era of NXT is also pretty great. It's just that era in between where Vince was booking NXT that was like, what?
I mean, but we did get the rise of Braun Breaker because of that.
Yeah.
And Carmelo Hayes, but that's literally, honestly, I think that was like the only 2 stars that came out of the 2.0 era.
Yeah, they're both on the main roster now.
But my thought is like, look, when Vince McMahon, when Triple H is booking stuff, is that like, it's like Triple H, and I'm going to use the CM Punk Drew McIntyre feud as an example, is he'll take some stuff that, oh, I don't like you, and he's like, you know what? Storyline.
And honestly, this is gonna be off topic, but who cares? We got like 3 seconds. I think CM Punk has an open mic clause in his contract.
Honestly, yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
No.
Thoughts, you go first.
My final thoughts is when Vince McMahon was booking, there was some stuff that was it was questionable. It didn't really seem logical. Like some superstars, rail and fell during the main event set, but also there are people that are currently not in WWE. Like for example, I'm gonna give this as Dolph Ziggler. I honestly believe that if Dolph Ziggler wasn't fired from WWE, he would actually do shit in WWE. And if he was still alive, if Bray Wyatt was still alive, whether he was defeated or whatever, I honestly think he would do very well. That's my thought.
Yeah. And like
Well,
the WWE is like teasing the return of Uncle Howdy and him bringing like Eric Redbeard and a few other people.
yeah. What are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are when this shouldn't come as a shock to anyone. We started watching WWE during the PG era, and for the first few years we enjoyed it because we were children, and
Yeah.
eventually it's stale and they need to evolve and stuff like that. And the next evolution of booking for WWE, if you think about it, since he was the chief and still is the chief content officer, was Triple H, and he has been killing it since he took over the full creative reins after Vince sold all his stock.
Yeah.
Have you want to say something? It's your turn this week.
All right. See you later. Roll it out, Drew.
Thank you for listening to Add Odds, hosted by the Unbreakable Spirit,
And the executioner.
edited by the Unbreakable Spirit. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MTS_life_0126.
You can follow me on Instagram at DanTravis121, and you can also follow me on the Twitter at DanTheExecutioner21.
And you can follow the podcast at Odds Podcast. We'll be back next week with more debates and discussions. But until then, the Executioner and the Unbreakable Spirit will still be at odds.
Thank you, losers.